Hi friends, it's Claudine. Welcome back. This is Foxy Finances. Today I'm going to do my cash stuffing for the last check of September, which was like a week ago. And clearly I'm a little bit behind, but we're going to get this taken care of today. So if you're interested in watching a cash stuffing with me, and then I think I'm also going to get my October bills situated, so stick around. Right. Thank you so much for staying. I appreciate you. This is what we're working with. It is just $600. I've got my cash planner here that kind of breaks down all the denominations and where I'm going to put it. So I'm going to use this sort of off to the side. And just as a reminder, I'm using my paycheck budget worksheet. This has both paychecks for the month, the early check and the later check. So we are working down here in the later check. As you can see, I've paid the bills that need to be paid, and now we're just waiting to do the cash stuffing. So this is a lean month because I had extra expenses on one of my credit cards, but I paid that off in full, and so we are working with a little bit less in the cash stuffing, but that's okay because I can always try to make it up later with side hustles. So you'll see that most of my cash stuffing is for either long-term sinking funds, which for me are things that I pay once a year, maybe twice a year, or monthly, but like at an off time of when the bills are due. So I'm saving for those things, and that's why I'm able to skip them if it's a lean month or if I'm just short. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to move this off to the side. Actually, I'm going to leave this here. I'm going to move this off to the side. Okay, we're working in the green binder today, and this is my coffee dashboard from Pretty Peach Budgeting that I love so much. And let's just get right into it. So because it's a lean month, we are going to skip challenges. You can also see there's money in here still. I have not done my savings challenges, so hopefully that'll be coming soon. I just need to make time for it. Okay, the credit card is going to get $100, and I actually just paid this card. I'm going to put a $100 bill in here. So this is kind of a buffer for the next bill that will be due, but I just paid a big chunk of this card off. So good for me, but not good that we don't have any extra in here. Let's see, groceries. We are going to do $300 for the month, which I think is $75 per 4 weeks. So let me just double check. So 300 divided by 4 is, yes, that's 75. Okay, so 75. And I think if I look at this, I'm going to do a 50, 60, 70, and 5. So a 20, a 50, a 20, and a 5 for each of these. So we have a 50, a 20, and a 5, and this is for week 1 of October, which will actually be this weekend. A 50, a 20, and a 5 for week 2 of October. I haven't really looked at the calendar, so I'm hoping that October is not one of those months that has sort of 5 weeks in it, or 5 Sundays, because that's usually Saturday or Sundays when I do my groceries. But if it is, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Okay, so here's the last 75 for groceries in week 4. Then we're going to skip week 5 because sometimes I'll put a little buffer in here, but don't have that this time. Cat supplies are going to get $50, and we are just doing one $50 bill for that. And this is cat food or litter. It's not for vet bills or grooming for the cats. So cat supplies is getting $50. Probably didn't tell you this yet, but Clyde, the cat who is costing me all the medical bills, now has developed an allergy to fish, which I've never heard of such a thing, but it turns out that 48% of cats actually are allergic to fish. So, and you would be surprised how many cat foods have fish in them, even if it's just the chicken variety. They have either natural flavoring, which is fish, or they have fish meal, if it's like a kibble, or they have fish oil in it. This has just been, it's almost laughable, but my poor guy had a sort of allergic reaction to some fish oil in a cat food that we were testing out, and it was not great. So Fortunately, we didn't have to take him to the vet or anything. He was fine at home, just very uncomfortable and watery eyes, the whole thing. So poor guy, but we're working on it. And so we definitely need this budget for cat food right here. Okay. Next is nails, and I do have $5 in here. No, wait, let's see how much is in here. I have $10 in here from my last nail appointment, which was left over. So we're still going to put 80 in here. So it's 50, 60, and 70. And oh, no, we're not. Hold on. Scratch that. I already paid for my nails. I put it on my, no, sorry. I did not put it on my credit card. I had cash when I got all this from the bank. And I paid with it because I did it the same day. Okay, so these are the nails. It's an olive, like dark green. Okay, so anyway, we're not going to do nails. I should have written that down on my sheet, but I did not, but now I remember. Okay, skipping that, we're going to do tips, and that is going to get $10. This is tips for really anybody who I need to tip, but most of the time lately, it's like service people who come to the house for various services. Okay, we're skipping pet vet because I'm using my savings challenges for this. We're going to skip college, but I do need to unstuff this, so maybe we'll do that today. We're skipping home warranty. No, we're not. $10 for home warranty. And this is for the deductible. We have a home warranty that's paid up for like 4 more years, I think. But there's a deductible every time we have a service provider come out. It's $75. So I like to save that up so I have it, you know, kind of in the bank here for when I need it. And then we're going to skip Costco, lawn care, month ahead, and put this last 50 right into groomer because the cats did go to the groomer recently. So I emptied out this container, this envelope, and they were so soft when they came back and they were just so happy. So I loved it. All right. And that's it. We have CD ladder. We're skipping that this time. And that is it for the cash stuffing. Next, we're going to unstuff and we're going to do a back to the bank. So I'm going to get this little thing here, Post-it note, and I'm going to, I guess I'm going to use this Sharpie because I don't, oh no, wait, hold on. I have a pen here. I'm going to take some things back to the bank that can go into my long-term savings account, which I have an Ally account. I'm never sure if I'm saying it right. It's Ally. It's an Ally account. It's a high yield savings account that I put mostly my long-term sinking funds in. So I'll save them in here for a while, but then eventually I like to transfer it over to the bank so I can earn some interest on it. So just going through, let's just see which of these things can go back to the bank. These are all things I need. College. All right, so college can go back to the bank. And I'm going to just make a note of how much I'm putting. So for college, we have $100, $200, $300, $400, $500, $600, $700, $800 for college. That's amazing. So we're going to put that back here. And then I think that actually might be it for this one. Lawn care is almost done for the season. I think I'm going to get one more bill, so I'm going to leave this in here. Month ahead, there's very little in here. Groomer, we just stuffed that. CD ladder, I'm going to hang on to this. I think there's only 200 in here, but we will eventually put that because I'm going to have to transfer it in order to start my CD ladder. Okay, so that is it for this green binder, but, whoa, pumpkin. What we can do is grab the other binder. So hold on for 1 second. Okay, so this is my other binder. This is my early paycheck binder for the month. So this will be the next one we stuff when I get paid again. But in the meantime, let's see. I love to show off my little stuff here. In the meantime, let's see if there's anything that we can take back to the bank. So Canva is something I pay once a month. Gutters, Terminex, that's empty. Ooh, vacation, let's put that away. So we have 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 20, 40, 60. So 160 in vacation. Okay, perfect. And holidays is in my holiday binder. Birthdays, we can leave that. Spring, fall, and winter break, we can leave these, I think, because I don't have buckets for these in my Ally account. My Ally account. Car repairs. Ooh, I'm going to keep that in here too. hot tub, I am going to need this because I had my hot tub cleaned and it was looking great, and we got into it the same day it was cleaned, and then the jets stopped working. So I got the service people coming out for that next week. Gas is empty. Amazon will get, oh, it's empty. Husband working through that. Streaming, we'll pay that bill. Costco, here's another college one. Let's do that. I don't know why. Oh, I do know why. At first I was like, why do I have 2 college envelopes? It's because I save for college with both of the paychecks, the early paychecks and the late paychecks. So we're going to add another $100 to the college. We're going to just put that right into the bank. Erase that. Make it 900. And that's it. All right. So not a ton going back to the bank, but it's $1,000, 1,060. Yeah. So 1,060 is back to the bank, and that's great because then I'll earn a little bit of interest on it. All right, the next thing I want to do is go over my bills and get my October calendar set up. So let's do that next. Okay. Here's my desk calendar for October, and I've already pulled off the September calendar. I think I accidentally pulled it off at the beginning of the month, so it's just been floating around my desk area. But let's go ahead, and I'm just going to write down when my bills are due, and I'm also going to just recap my auto pay because I often will forget what is going directly onto the credit card, and I do need to review these when the bill comes and make sure that they haven't increased or decrease, although that's not likely. But I just want to make sure that I'm saving enough out of every paycheck to cover these bills plus the extra things that I might be charging on that credit card. So let's start with that. So we'll start with auto pay, and that means it's auto paid on my credit card. So we have REMC, which is like the power. We have 2 Apple charges, Metronet, and that is my cable, or not my cable, my internet. We have a Spotify account, my SIP Club from Panera, my car insurance, Citizens, which I think is gas, I'm not even sure, and Netflix is my streaming. Okay, so there's that. Then let's just fold this over. And then we can take a look at the bills. So the mortgage is due on the 1st of the month. I've already paid that. The Southwest card is usually due on the 2nd, and I've already paid that. That's the one where all these auto pays hit, and the one that I had to pay extra on, which is why it's a lean month. So hopefully going into mid-October and into November, it'll be a little bit more fluid with the cash. Okay, Amazon card is usually due around the 8th, so I'm just going to put it here on the 8th and remember to pay that because I have not paid that yet. The Barclays card is due on the 9th, and I did pay that already. Also my Centerpoint bill, but nope, that's not on here. So Centerpoint will be due, have not paid that. School loan is going to be due on the 14th. And I'm not sure if I have my payday stickers. I might just have to write it on here. Costco card is also due on the 14th. Have not paid that yet. And then my last bill is the Synchrony credit card, and that is my care credit. So it's for the vet bills and the emergency hospital for the vet. It's all animal based. I'm only charging emergency stuff on there. I'm not charging, like Clyde goes every month for a shot for his arthritis, and so we're not charging that on there. I always have to make sure I have that in the bank. So this is just, again, for emergencies and for like extreme vet bills. Okay, so that's that. It doesn't seem like a lot, but I'll tell you, when it comes time to pay the bills, it sure feels like a lot. So that's it for September, and she's done. I'm going to put her into the recycling, and we have moved into October, which is very nice. So I have not done my October budget, the full budget yet, but I don't get paid until here. I don't get paid until here. let me see really quickly if I can find my stickers, and I will sticker the pay date on here. I feel like they were over here on my desk, but as I'm rooting around for it, I am definitely not seeing it. So we're just gonna do old school and use a pen. So I'm gonna put a payday here, and I'm gonna put a payday here. And so this is how I determine what needs to be paid when. So with the check that I just cash stuffed, I should theoretically pay the Amazon card and the Centerpoint card, because both of these will be due before I get paid here. I'm not sure that's going to happen, but I am taking some things back to the bank. So if I need to like be a little creative, I don't know if you've ever been creative with your money, but maybe some of that back to the bank money can go to pay these, and then when I get paid here, I can pay back to the bank. Hopefully that makes sense. This is a later paycheck, and this is because I had a magic month in August, and it kind of shifted everything down. I really struggle with those magic months. I love a magic month. I love the idea of an extra check, but it always messes up the flow for the following months after that. So, and then it gets back on track. But like for the first few months after, I'm always like, why is this paycheck so late? In any case, this next check will be here. So with this paycheck, I'm going to pay the Costco and the school loan. And then with this paycheck, I can pay the Synchrony bill and the mortgage, which will be back here for November. Then what I'm going to have to do is look ahead again. So this is a paycheck 24. Then we skip the 31st, and then we'll have a paycheck here, and we'll have a paycheck here. So can you see how that goes? Like the 8th and the 9th, if those bills are due here on the 8th and the 9th, it's too soon for this paycheck, but it's perfect for this paycheck, 8th and 9th. So we're back on track starting in November. So it's really just like the month of the magic month is like amazing because I feel like I have an extra paycheck. And then that was August, and then September and October. I think it was August. It's either 2 or 3 months after that it gets all wacky. But we're back on track here in November. So in the meantime, I love October, and I'm actually going to be doing Croctober, which if you are not familiar with Croctober, you can check out my, let's see, where am I going to do this? I'm not sure if I'm going to make videos about it or if I'm going to just do like shorts about it, but Croctober is cooking all of the food for this month, or maybe just most of it, in the crock pot, which I'm super, super here for. I love to make soups and stews and cozy foods in the crock pot. I'm also super busy this month for my job, basically this month to the end of the year. And so if I can plan ahead enough to get stuff into the crock pot before I leave for work, I'll be golden. So follow along. If you have any good crock pot recipes that you just love, that you like, your ride or die crock pot recipes, drop them in the comments. I'd love to check them out. Okay. I think that's it for today. We've got some money going back to the bank. We've cash stuffed my last check. I am ready for October. It's going to be another week before I get my paycheck. After that, we'll do another cash stuffing. But I'm going to head over to the bank and drop this money off so I can transfer it to my high yield savings. And that's it. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I really appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next one.